You know what I have in this hand? Change. Chunk change. When I hear you speaking, I say to myself, Wonder Bread don't put up with that kind of baloney. Frankly speaking, there's a whole, when I listen to the morning brew, is that decaf? Because frankly speaking, it lacks the pep that WPFW had. It lacks the innovation that WPFW had. During the first Gulf War, WPFW stood up. People were fighting their way into the door to give money to WPFW. We have lost that spirit. We have lost that spirit. When's the last time anybody's heard Albert Eiler on WPFW? When's the last time anybody here heard Archie Shepp on WPFW? When's the last time anybody's heard anything? The most interesting thing that WPFW played was the George Carlin interview, and that was old hat. We need to take we need to roll back those programs and bring back. You say you want to reach a larger audience? Well, not every Jew is a Zionist, but I haven't heard one programmer wish any of our Jewish listeners Happy Hanukkah. What's up with that? And I'm not a Zionist, and I'm not a supporter of Israel, but what's up with that? Last year, you had plenty Christmas programming, and you have talked all about all the other holidays. What's up with that? And what about our atheist listeners? And then what about the Roe v. Wade decision? Last year, only one person had a show that talked about Roe v. Wade, and she's been purged. And her name is Katia Stitt. What about Sophie's Parlor? You say you want to... You want to expand your listening? 50% of the world is women. My favorite Chinese philosopher says, women hold up half the sky. Apparently they can't even get 2 hours on a radio station. And one more thing, and I'll be out of here.
I'm a listener. I was listening to WPFW the other morning, and I decided to turn my radio on to WPFW. Come to find out, I was listening to WPFW. I heard some things that Gary Null said yesterday about how to raise funds instead of having fundraisers. I think you should listen to some of those things. One of the things he was saying was we should have where the premiums are mailed out within 3 or 4 days. I think that's a very good idea. I contributed $250 about three years ago to get a Miles album, cover, and all that. Never received it. I've contributed more than that over time for gifts that I've never received. So the things that are being done, also he had mentioned that you should have a 1-800 number instead of volunteers. No disrespect to the volunteers, but the 1-800 would be professional people that knew how to sell as well as to take down calls. I think we should take that into consideration. Money should be paid to the vendors immediately instead of held and used for other purposes. Also, the things that PFW represents and has represented over the years are being weeded out. And I don't think that one can apologize for being arrogant and expect to be respected. Thank you.
Sean Hughes. I am Reverend Carolyn Boyd, the host of What Was Spirit in Action. to speak from the spiritual place where I live. You are hearing the brokenness, the anger, and the hurt of the soul of WPFW. Mm-hmm. The soul of WPFW is on trial today. And as the leader of the soul of this station, I am calling you to task. I have stayed out of the fight. I have not been here. I've been prayerful. I've been sending light. I've been sending love, and that's not working. So now we're at a space where what we have sown is what we must reap. And so I say to you, how do you reconcile where we are today? I have listened to your eloquent speak. I have heard your passion and your conviction. And I am deeply disappointed. I am deeply, deeply wounded. Because what I needed from you was what you are saying you need from us, which is respect. Now I can go on and talk about how I was treated, but I'm not going to do that. I can go on and say that I sent you proposals after proposals. I emailed you, and I'm not going to do that. But what I am going to do is call you to task to say that part of justice and forgiveness and the apology you render to us is reconciliation. All right. How do you plan to reconcile your constituency here? He does it. What do you plan to do in terms of bringing us together? He does it. We don't want to be splattered here and there. We need from you a specific, measurable, time-sensitive plan. And you know I stayed out of it. Because I want to be in integrity about who I am as a spirit who happens to be having some fun on the earth plane. So we're asking you now, what are you prepared to do? Are you going to call all of these constituencies together in a meeting? Are you going to truthfully listen to what people have to say? Or are you going to give us that passionate, eloquent speak? And so I am challenging you now. The soul of our station is at stake. And you are the leader of that. And as you have sown, you must reap. Yes. You must reap. Yes.
So, let me respond to yes, I am going to call all of us together again and again and again and again until we get it right.
But John, you told us that before. You listen to me, okay? You told us that before. Your speak now has become empty. It is falling on stones that can't hear you, can't receive you, can't embrace you. And I don't want to be a part of this, standing here saying this. I want to be a part of the solution. So I'm asking you now, what are you prepared to do in concrete terms? As an example, tomorrow I will call together all of the various stakeholders. We will meet at 1 o'clock. Here's the discussion plan. Here's what I'm prepared to do. Here's how you're going to hold me accountable for it. That's what we need.
All right, so what I'm going to do quickly is commit to this. Before we get out of here, I'd like to caucus with some of the members of the LSP. I'd like to caucus with the executive director of Pacifica. Because, and let me just submit one. The LSP are your representatives.
No, they're not.
Well, that is fundamentally what they're here to be and to do.
They're not. They're talking.
So, Reverend Boyd, if you could, I would submit that to you and to everyone here in this room, and if I could do a quick dispatch on that while people are here. If we could just take a minute to caucus.
That'd be good. That's good.
I'm pretty sure that's probably okay, but here's the stipulation. Okay, but let me stipulate. I want someone who is competent and capable to facilitate that meeting.
Yes. Rev?
You have the reverend here, Hagler?
Okay, I'm not done yet. Okay, I'll call a turn.